When did the world change? When did our phones change? To figure out how we got into this mess, we have to gaze into the dizziness of the past and map out the history. So, let's get caught up. (1876), Alexander Graham Bell patents the first telephone. Not much time later, we had the first rotary telephones. Then we went digital and mobile. The 90s got interesting, and then we end up where we are today. And as for the future, I guess we'll have to find out. But it's not just the when that we should look at to solve this problem, but the how. How do our phones actually shape us? And to better understand how our phones have such an impact, we can learn a thing or two from this guy right here, Marshall Mcluhan. Marshall Mcluhan was a Canadian philosopher and a pioneer in the field of media studies. And he was most famous for coining the term, "The medium is the message." He even has a book with kind of the same name. And with this term, Marshall is trying to convey a very interesting concept. All forms of media contain various content, but the content that it contains is not as important as the medium itself. Let me explain further. This is a TV. This is a phone. Both are screens. One's big, one's small, one can fit in your pocket, one shouldn't move at all, but we can use both to watch all of our favorite movies and shows. But just because you can watch the exact same thing on both devices, or mediums, doesn't mean they should be treated the same way. A TV is an evolution of the cinema, and was the first step in introducing portability for the viewer. Screens went from the quiet cinema to the comfort of your own home, and therefore, the viewer can participate in societal dialogue more efficiently. Computers and the internet were the next step in this process, allowing us to record our dialogue publicly. And our phones are the latest evolution, allowing everyone to have full participation in societal change, because they're our all-in-one portable tool. There's always a focus now on how content has evolved to become shorter, more addicting, and more exciting. But it's rarely mentioned that the reason this content has evolved this way is because our phones allowed for this kind of content to thrive. The speed in which our phones allow us to create and consume has changed the nature of content. And it's because a phone is more accessible than all past mediums. Our phones are our intermediary, our gateway, our portal, into the collective recorded consciousness of society. They are a complete extension of us. And this is what makes our phones so consuming of our time. They change us because they're so personalized to our experience and serve so many purposes. Our phone's time is our time, because it now has become a part of you. There are all of our thoughts and ideas, our relationships, our finances, our love lives, and our memories. Understanding how these technologies, or mediums, shape us and how each one differs is the first step to a positive future. And we're going to need that first step, because there's no turning back.